Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? What is going on? What time is it? It's actually a Wednesday. Hello, welcome back. Hope everybody's doing well. We've had a 24-hour break since the last one. The last one went a little bit heavy. So what you say we just take it easy today? Happy Hump Day. It is a Wednesday for us people that work a 9-to-5 regular weekday bullshit. I was asking someone at work the other day, I said, when does the week start to feel like you're sliding into the weekend? He's like, Thursday at the end of the day. I was like, oh, that's a pretty steady climb up to that point. For me, it's about Wednesday. Wednesday's the hump, and then after that, I start to look down the other end of the week, and then I can see the weekend coming, and I'm like, yeah, baby, weekend, woo! Except I haven't been doing shit all on the weekend, so I don't even know what I have to look forward to. Well, what is today's topic? Wednesday. Do I have any literary wordings with which we will discuss? Shit. Guess I dropped the ball on that one. How about words? I don't know. Seeming how words got me into a lot of trouble the last little deep water the last few days. Words are interesting. I know a lot of movies that are in mainstream English media where you can get away with cussing and swearing in French and Spanish, no problem. But if you tried to say the same words in English, they would scrap it. What is the point of that? If you're going to censor, what are you censoring? Are you censoring the English word? Think about it. I want to break this down because I've studied a lot of this in linguistics and even pronunciations of words, as well as philosophy and meanings. So anyways, I wanted to break it down because it's like a fundamental part of what we do. And when I ask some people this question, say, what do you think in? Now on the surface, that sounds like a pretty strange concept. But say you grew up and you only know one language. So when you think, what language do you think in? And if you know more than one language, a lot of the time some people will say whatever their native one is, or if you have one, then whatever that language is. So you actually kind of think in your language that you learned. So that's sort of fascinating where, to touch on a topic from yesterday, we're born into the world, we're pretty much almost blank slates. I won't get into that topic, but you pretty much learn everything else, including the language and how it's used and what to say and what not to say, which are included in the rules of your particular environment when you're born and growing up. Influence. So the words influence the way you think to a degree. And sometimes if it's not the meaning of the words, like in most cases, it's a meaning or an intent or a tone, not the words you use, but like how you use them. There's a lot going on with words. What the shit? And sometimes words can be hilarious because if you put them in the wrong fruitcake, then all of a sudden it becomes turnip. So clearly I didn't use words I didn't use words that made sense there, but you could kind of figure out what I meant because you understand the rest of the structure. Right? Kind of, sort of, depends on how literate you are. Not articulate, just literate, like you have paid attention to the way structures are, that kind of thing. You may have also noticed, my regulars, where the fuck am I? Changing it up on y'all. Can't be boring in these videos. If you're paying attention to more than just my face, which I would assume you are, you'd notice I'm not where I normally am. Ha! Find me now, GPS. What up with that? Now, I just decided to walk a different route because I've seen this parking lot like in the mornings, and they take care of this parking lot like really, really nicely. It's really well done. I don't even know what kind of a building it is. I think it's just a warehouse, but it's super nice in the morning. So now I'm visiting it here in the evening. So anyways, going back to words and word use, and to the video that I have to edit, and words that are associated with a meaning or a derogatory term or a feeling that it's invoked. I mean, they don't come prescribed with meaning. They develop a meaning over time, and the way they're used, who uses them, and for what purpose. Words become weapons. Words as weapons could be today's topic, and it sounds controversial, but I don't mean to use them as weapons. I mean to diffuse them as weapons, if that makes sense. The way that some words have been de-weaponized is by reclaiming them. Like some groups of people that we've been talking about lately have certain words that are associated with derogatory terms or prejudice or whatnot, racism, if you will. And the way to get about that is to reclaim certain words, to own those words, to say that, hey, you can't call me that, that's my word, and then all of a sudden you reclaim it. So if you look at history, one way to wipe out a people's culture is to eliminate their language, and then all of a sudden a lot of the things that they've ever had, like Mayan culture, Egyptian culture, a lot of that knowledge is just lost because we just have no translation, no direct or reliable translation throughout history. Not only because people in history were fucking dumb and morons, like whoever lit the Library of Alexandria on fire. Yeah, good job. See, this is me clapping with one hand. Fuck you, falling tree in the forest. You send that joke on a trip. Get out of here. Yeah, that burning of Alexandria, like, you know, it's a shame because there was so much information that we had as human beings from our history and knowledge of certain things and progress that just, at best now, they say that history is written by the victors. I don't know who these victors are, but I don't even know anybody by the name of Victor, actually. I mean by the winners, right? If history is written by the winners, male winners, because we all know how screwed up males have been in history and how their insecurity for dominance makes them do all kinds of dumb shit. Thanks, guys. And now the rest of us males, some anyways, that have advanced since then, get to suffer under the same prejudice because we're still that kind of male. At least that's what I think. It's like a blanket term, right? And we just can't help but to get out from under, we'll try to get out from underneath it, but like against what odds? Anyways, it smells like cotton candy. The fuck? This industrial area is fantastic for that, but every day I go home, I'm like starving. Actually, smells like maybe a perfume factory or something. Doesn't smell like food. Anyways, I'm getting carried away. God damn it. Yeah, words are weird. Words are like comedy is all about wordplay. Well, for me, I love wordplay. Like the classic dad joke or the punny words, or, you know, just sometimes it's like a word that helps you think your way out of an idea or a concept or a problem, or, you know what I mean? Like just a particular type of speaker, like Morgan Freeman or Neil deGrasse Tyson or Dave Chappelle or Eddie Murphy. Like these guys are comedians and astrophysicists, and you know what I mean? Like they're good speakers. I mean, even Barack Obama was a great speaker in front of people. Like he had a delivery, a tone, he was funny. They're all witty sort of people. They're quick-minded people. They have an active thinking that is displayed in their words. So we admire people that can do that, can like weave their words together with amazement, you know? But it's like when you hear these words, they help you kind of articulate your own thoughts, right? Because the words are connected. In English anyways, because I can't speak for other languages because I don't know any, but I imagine it's similar because it's all about like the meaning of a word or the intent of a word. Like, I'm sure that you could make any word sound aggressive or angry, or you know what I mean? Like, you can apply a tone to it, but the word on its own, and where some of these things come across in like text format online, Twitter and Facebook, and it's only a text that you're only reading the word. So you're applying a filter of a personal nature to the word as you're reading it. You're imagining it how the person had said it. Or, I mean, in maybe some cases, you're just dehumanizing the entire phrase. You're detaching what you've read from it being a person. I'll go back to Joe Rogan a lot because I listen to him a lot, and he's just got some cool ideas where after becoming a father, he thought about people differently. He changed as a person. He looks around and he says that, like, you know, all these people were just babies at one point. They were all, you know, all people just are babies but grown up, and some of the things that they go through as babies just never left. They're just grown babies. So he sees the world differently, and I mean, with that kind of perspective, you got to see that, like, people go through stuff. They carry with them a filter. They carry with them all kinds of different things, and there's two sides of the coin. I mean, either you could be reading into something correctly, you might have a point. Might be able to read into the intentionality of a word, how it was phrased. Some of it's obvious because, like I said, I was speaking phrases before and you could probably tell what words I was supposed to use, but I didn't because of the structure of the sentence, the context of my phrasing, right? You can substitute a word for some other banana and you can still get it. Right? You follow? You still follow me? So there is something to an intelligent decryption. Try not to get run over while I'm doing these. So yeah, there is a decryption, and it's all about pattern recognition and intelligence and training and education and context and culture. A lot of these different things that we have as filters apply to what we think, how people think, what people are saying, how they're communicating together, and then we have what we would like to think are rational and intelligent, emotionally content. What's the word I'm looking for there? Speaking of words, emotionally contextualized conversations. So they're not empty, they're not robotic, they're not stale, they're not ignorant, they're not. You know what I mean? Because we all kind of, I think as human beings, most of us who are at least high-functioning, normal-minded, I mean, even to some degree, I imagine even the mentally troubled still desire some things as a human being. I can't speak to that because I'm not a psychologist, but I imagine a high-functioning sociopath still wants the same things as us normal people. You just can't tell the difference until they snap on you, which is the same for like all kinds of other types of descriptions of people, like narcissists, which people love to throw around these days. Egomaniac is the way we used to call it. And that's another thing. Things that came up in history, descriptions we used to use, or terms for things, have changed over time. It's not like the thing changed. A person, a race, a type, a stereotype. It isn't like those things actually went away. Because people changed what they, like Puff Daddy to P. Diddy, I mean, do you really think, who are you fucking kidding? Seriously. People will get shot at clubs downtown and they change the name to something else. It's not Energy 108, it's XTC. Not ecstasy, the drug, because that's bad. But XTC, the 3 letters. Who are you fucking kidding? I'm gonna say the number one thing they're kidding are print literature, because if you read it really quickly and you don't see another word, then some minds don't associate that way, or search engines don't search that way. So if you change the letters to, like, if you're gonna change your name from Aaron, E-R-I-N, to A-A-R-O-N, it's still Aaron. You could speak it the same way, but it's spelled different. Spellings, we won't get into spellings of words because English is like a whole history lesson in that. But anyways, so changing the term of something, calling something else by a different name, doesn't change like the thinking inside, it's just supplementing the word. So you can kind of get away with doing something you were always doing, but you're starting to use different words. You kind of follow what I mean here? This is touching on the fact that some of our serious problems with society and systemic problems that are embedded in society are not getting fixed. They're getting band-aids. They're not fixing this shit the way that it should get done. They're not really listening to communities. They're putting band-aids on them just long enough for the community to shut the fuck up, or for the words to go away, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh look, there's a sale at Costco. Let's just go buy shit. The same way the Matrix turned everybody into a battery, this slick thinking fucking nonsense of marketing and jargon in the society and governments just turn everybody into consumers. They want everybody to be a consumer, go back to work, make your money, then spend your money, and then go back to work and make money, and then go and spend your money. They don't want people to have like really good saving opportunities. The people they're really interested in are the ones who can propagate the engine for those already sitting at the top. There's a perspective. I'm not a fucking accountant. I'm not a financial agent. This is just me looking at the system from the pattern of recognition that I have applied to things like word change, to dissociating one theme from another theme. The way that Houdini would distract your mind from one object to change or manipulate another object, so that you're not paying attention to the thing that's being manipulated, you're paying attention to the distraction device. Anyways, woo! Going in deep there. Yeah, airport's on my left. Is that you, Steve Rogers? You coming up from the left? No Captain America around here. Yeah, these videos are getting a little bit longer because these topics are starting to get a little bit interesting. Gotta change it up, right? So yeah, these words just... You gotta, I don't know. You gotta think sometimes. You gotta wonder. You gotta wonder what's going on. They always said don't talk to strangers. Whatever the fuck happened to that? I like this. I'd like to apply that to all of the stuff that goes on Facebook. You just read something from a stranger and reply as a stranger, and then all of a sudden you're in a fucking fight for a half hour? Well, what are you doing? Spend some time with your dog. Go for a walk. Call your good friends. Stop fighting online. The one thing about that is, like I said, it's a bit dehumanizing to just argue or fight online in words, because you're not really... Sometimes you get really good speaking argumentation people. Like, they know what they're talking about. They're not trolls. They have some value to share. When you can find those people, that's very valuable. But most of them are just wasting their time, clickety click, clackety click, clackety tick tocking. Like, it's nonsense. You don't have much value to share at all. It's just wasting your time. Damn it, I missed this light. Oh, it's sunny out here. The weather's nice though. So, think about the words, word use, word choice, word phrasing, word meanings, the meanings behind the words, our intent behind the words. Don't just think of it like that, you know, there's a human being who has a real name that's not in media, was once known as Prince, no, just kidding, Puff Daddy, then P. Diddy, and then Puffy Combs, and then whatever his actual fucking name is. It's like we're doing a dance around the actual thing. And without really getting to the depth of it, really, like if we're gonna stay superficial and no substance and just skip across everything like we know what we're talking about, chances are we really don't. And the reason why we don't is because it's not all revealed. It's being hidden, it's being manipulated, it's being played with in order to get attention, because that's what online does right now. It's all attention economics. I've said this a couple of times. This is a concept maybe you could look into. I don't know if I've coined it, but attention economics works like likes and shares generate a number that is interesting to marketing and advertisement firms to say that this many views or this many likes or this many people that they're reaching over a certain amount of time justifies this much money or investment into sharing product or time or whatever. That's what it is. The more attention you can prove, the more investment you can earn. Essentially, that's what it is. Clearly, my videos are doing great, because if I can get 12 people to watch my videos, yeah, baby, you gotta rank in some dough. Now, but here we go. We're over 22 minutes now. We're gonna approach 23. This is pretty long. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna say word choice, word use, the intent, the meaning behind everything. Sometimes it's just a game and you gotta decide whether it's worth playing or not. Now this includes a defense of a word or a support of a word. You can identify with that word, you can take it personally, you can stand behind it and say, hey, you know, this means something to me, and what it represents is important, like the word love, and is also in the Matrix. You know, they say that, you know, love is a word, but what it implies is the connection, and what would you do for that connection? So it's more about what the words are pointing to or how they're used. Like comedians don't use most of their words seriously, and that's why it's a joke. It's comedy. It's intended to make you think, but it's not meant to criticize in a serious fashion. So we kind of have to get on board and realize it's meant in a context. So if you take comedy written down on paper, it's nothing like stand-up. It totally ruins it. You have to listen to it in the context of stand-up comedy, and then it makes sense. It's the same with a lot of other things. So from me to my audience, I'm saying that sure, I've shoved a lot of words into my mouth and used them in a certain way. Because of the nuances between the lines, I may have used them the wrong way, or sometimes I didn't, but the exchange between one side and the other got miscommunicated. So try to think about that the next time words come across you. Like, use a filter and just slow down, take a second and think about it. Knee-jerk reactions, don't do anything positive. And, you know, maybe we'll meet in the middle. At least that's what I hope. I'm trying to learn these things too, so while I'm saying it, I'm learning it. So anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow for this incredibly long walk that I have. But it's nice weather and I'm absorbing the vitamin D. Getting all that D all over my face. Didn't even have to say a word. I just said one letter and you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the support and help, both in the comments and outside the comments. You guys are amazing. I'm so fortunate to have a group of supportive friends like you guys. And I really respect your being here. It's really great. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Be excited. Watch your words.